Hi, this is Adrienne Barbeau. Just call me Billy. Everyone does. And you're listening to WithoutYourHead.com.
Welcome to the station of decapitation without your head. I am Nasty Neil.
This is Annabelle Lecter.
That would make me terrible, Troy.
And making his return to the show after 9 years. We've been waiting for him to come back. We have Mike Mendez on the line.
Hello. Has it really been 9 years? Jesus Christ, is that true?
Yeah, I just looked it up. It'll be 9 years in November.
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Well, thank you for having me. What took you guys so long? No, I'm kidding. Thank you for having me back.
Yeah.
It took us a long time to find you again.
Apparently, yes. I could not find my head for that long, and now I've lost it again tonight. So, here, all for nothing. So, anyway, well, good to be back. I remember the show. You know why you guys stick out so much? Because you always have the cool artwork. Last time there was a little bit of a sketch that you guys made that kind of looked a little more like John Landis than me, but that's okay. But it was still very cool. And now you had the little Tales of Halloween banner and stuff, so that was all groovy. So
very nice. Yeah,
Thank you.
Troy does the sketches. I do the banners. And yeah.
And is the band still together from 9 years? Is it still the same group?
It's Troy and Neil. We were here 9 years ago. John is no longer with us. He's still alive, but Annabelle is now here with us. Yes.
Right. Okay, fair enough. And Annabelle
now
is new to the crew. Probably new to me, probably part of the crew for a while.
Yeah, it's been like 3 years for me.
I think it's going on 4 years.
All right.
Get out. Wow. Well, anyways, it's very nice to meet you. I've heard great things.
Excellent. Nice to meet you as well. And very happy to be back. It's always been a fun show, so this is cool.
Yeah, to put things in perspective, last time we had you on, I talked to you via MySpace.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, MySpace was very popular back then. And in fact, a lot of the roots of Tales of Halloween, I credit partially to MySpace. So, so it was an influential tool back then. Well, a lot of us met that way, Not necessarily, actually, Axel and I, who's the person who produced it with me and came up with the original idea to do it, we technically met at a festival in Belgium the first time, but the first time we ever connected was through MySpace. And the same thing can be said about, like, Adam Green and Joe Lynch, who does not appear in the movie, but his severed head does. And Ryan Schifrin, a lot of the guys were kind of core, what became kind of the core group that turned into the October Society, what was largely began in MySpace. So it's got a purpose, it served a place in time.
Yeah. So when did the idea come about to make the movie?
About a year and a half ago. I mean, I think Axel's held on to the idea for a while, but it was, last April, that, we were at a party and she just said, look, I'm serious. We should really, make a movie together. And so I was like, okay, but that's, I mean, it's an easy thing to say, but, we need to get a lot of things in place, and she's like, well, I have Neil Marshall. He said he'd do it. And that was sort of like the first kind of big, pin to kind of click in to kind of go like, okay, wait, if Neil's involved, then that kind of is a good anchor that we can kind of build off of and put it together. And so from that point on, we kind of went out seeking the other members and then, and then went out to finance it through Epic Pictures, who really, I mean, from the point that we basically said, let's do it, was, to the point of it being greenlit or, at least them being very interested was about a week. It was came up with Axel brought it up at a party on a Saturday, and the next Saturday we were meeting with Epic, and they were into it. So it all came together pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. It's odd. There really aren't that many movies about Halloween made.
I don't think so. I mean, obviously there's some really good ones. There's John Carpenter's, of course, and then Mike Dougherty's Trick or Treat, which is pretty fabulous. And look, I was a little hesitant to get in there because I feel that, and I still feel like there is already a Halloween anthology that we're not going to top. So why try? But at the same time, it's like, look, we all love Halloween, and it's kind of like a big subject that a lot of people can sink their teeth into. And he got it his way. He made a amazing feature with studio money, and got to do it on a big budget level. And, we kind of scrappy kids said, hey, let's kind of do our independent sort of take on it, where we all did the kind of multi-director kind of approach, which is more in line with like ABCs of Death or VHS or something, and so it's sort of mixing, kind of what Trick or Treat is, but also kind of taking a different approach with the multi-director thing. And then again, it's just, it's a beloved holiday. So we sort of felt like, well, just because somebody did a movie that has, different stories of Halloween doesn't mean that other people can't as well. And so that's sort of how it all began. And we just loved the holiday and felt we wanted to share in the fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anthologies seem to be making a huge return because people do love them. You could have one story maybe you're not so hip on, and then the other ones you might just be totally in love with. It's a wonderful thing about anthologies.
And I think, at least though I think what kind of put them in vogue again is stuff like VHS and ABCs of Death. And I think largely the reason for making those is that they were just cheap to make. It's like you could give the filmmaker $5,000 or $10,000 and then kind of have them come back and put them all together. It's a feature film, and so it was kind of an economical way. And then it also has a lot of name values because you have a lot of different names on it. We sort of looked at all the anthologies that were coming out as of late, Chillerama, Theater Bazaar, ABC's, VHS, all of it. We tried to look at as much as we could and just sort of felt, how can we do it differently, and so we kind of retrofitted it, sort of thought backwards of like, okay, this is what they did. What can we do that's different that kind of might give it a different feel? And the answer was doing it together, because the thing with a lot of other anthology films, they feel very segmented. They look differently. They're shot in different parts of the world. They're, different film stocks, different, cameras, different lenses, different equipment in general. And we're like, well, one way we can stop that is if like we just made a movie like we were making one production with the same cameras and the same equipment, and we really truly did it together. We wrote them together and talked about them together, and and then would support each other by going to each other's sets and stuff like that. So that was kind of the one way that we just sort of felt that we could differentiate it from the other anthologies.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a really fun time, potentially a very challenging experience where everybody's going to have their own thoughts and opinions. So how did that work out, having people visit each other? Was it just, well, you go ahead and explain.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is, well, first off, fun, yes, absolutely. I mean, every day was kind of like a bit like a party, it's like, you go and hang out on your friend's set and your other friends are there and you just sort of hang out. It was just where you wanted to be, and that was really cool. But as far as working together, it's challenging, especially when you work with your friends. I mean, there's challenges that come up together and work, and then you have the friendship side of it, and it kind of personalizes it all, and that does make it difficult. But I always kind of said, like, look, they're my friends, and they're cool people, and there's a reason that I like them so much is because they're cool people, and I knew that we'd get through this because they're cool, because I knew that at the end of the day we our friendship would get us through the difficult times. And sure, I mean, of course there's resistance. No one likes hearing criticism or notes, but we sort of felt that, we were kind of creating a little bit of a brain trust that was like, look, I think it's wonderful to get notes from Neil Marshall or, Darren Bowsman or Dave Parker or Adam Girash or any of the guys. It's like I respect their work and I consider them friends. And, it wasn't, I think one thing that we really tried to shy away from was a competitive nature. It wasn't like I'm going to try to do better than them. It was more sort of how can we help everybody do the best they can? How can we support each other and kind of talk about stuff? And so I think, that was a lot of it was just communication and just knowing that everyone was there to have your back. It wasn't to kind of betray you or to do better than you or put you in the shadow. It was like, as one of the producers on it, I wanted everyone to be striving to make the best one. Like the only person you should be in competition with is yourself. You should be trying to do the best that you can do because you want to catch up and you don't want to be the weak link. And, and you kind of knew by being a part of it that you saw how serious a lot of people were taking it. Like I took it dead serious. I mean, it wasn't a joke to me. It wasn't playtime. It was like, look, this is an opportunity that a lot of people are going to get to see my work, and so I just want it to be the best it absolutely can be, and I wanted the same for everyone, and I wanted everyone to feel the same way about it. So we managed to do it, but again, it's like it's much more support and communication and and friendship than it was competition and rivalry, so.
That's really exciting because this, and I think it's kind of like a no-brainer that when people, just a single cast doing a one-story movie, when they like each other and when it's fun, you can feel that, and that's just there, and the movie just feels better. So that'll be.
Totally.
I'm really looking forward to seeing it. We're very lucky we get to see it tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool! Is it playing in your town, or?
Yeah, it's playing in Cambridge, just outside of Boston, the town over from Boston.
Oh, you're going to the Brattle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah, I have been there before. Man. That should be a fun one, I think.
Oh yeah, that's a great place.
Yeah, Brattle's. Yeah,
I hope that's the thing. Is an independent film. It's like you never know who's going to show up or how many. It could be a completely empty theater or it could be a packed house. It really is. I have no idea. So I'm hoping. At least my experiences at the Brattle have always been really, really great. So I'm hoping a good rowdy crowd comes out. I think it could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, just the other week we went to see the original Mummy and the Invisible Man at the Brattle, and so this week we're looking forward to seeing Tales of Halloween in the theater.
That's awesome. Is it just a midnight showing, or do they have a few showings?
It's 9:30.
What was that?
9:30
on Friday and Saturday.
All right.
Yeah. So
awesome.
tomorrow night and
cool.
Saturday.
Fingers crossed. Let me know how it goes. I think that has the potential to be a fun one.
Definitely.
Now,
I'm kind of glad you haven't seen it then, because if you have the chance to see it in the theater with an audience, I think that's a far better way to see it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Brattle gets such a great crowd, especially that time of night. Like you said, midnight. Yeah, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. But
totally.
A lot of times there's great audience.
Yeah. And I do think it's a bit of an audience movie. If there's probably the biggest criticism we get about it is that, people might be a little disappointed that they were expecting something a little scarier. And, there's scary moments, but our thing is that we wanted to make a celebration. We wanted something fun that feels more like a party. So there are scary moments and there are jump scares and shocks and lots of monsters and lots of gore. But, it's like I don't look at Halloween as a, scary, horrible, dark night. I'm not going to watch Martyrs or something like that on Halloween. I kind of look at it as a fun celebration. So, so the movie kind of reflects that. And I think when you watch it with an audience, I think it really, you see that audience kind of get that and enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. What's the reaction been like for the screenings you've been to?
Amazing. We always have a great time. I don't know if I'm just lucky to go to great screenings or it's just going great. But our first one was at the Fantasia Film Festival, and that was a theater of about 800. And that was a blast. And we just had a premiere here in Los Angeles at Screamfest with a lot of the cast and the crew. That was fun. But even just some of the non-festivals, just regular shows. We have a theater here in Los Angeles called the Cine Family, and they had a midnight of it last weekend on opening night, and it was great. It was packed and was really awesome reaction. So it's that's the thing. It doesn't always happen, but that's sort of one of the things you get to really enjoy when you make a movie is watching it with an audience and really experiencing it with them. And so that right now, that's kind of the fun for me right now is seeing how they react to stuff.
Mm-hmm. How did you pick which order the stories are in?
Well, we started out writing them in a certain order. We thought it would be chronological, but it's a risky proposition what you start with because that sets the tone for the entire film. So that was probably the biggest, as far as the reshuffle them. I think they're all basically in the same order. It was always supposed to end with Neil Marshall's. But what we were going to start with, was something else. We just started with whatever took place in the day. But, we found it's like, look, this is your opening. This is your introductory statement. So if you put one of the really goofy ones up front, then people are going to think that this entire movie is really goofy and silly. If you put one of the really sadistic, dark ones up front, then you're going to think it's kind of a dark thing. So we found, Dave Parker, who directed the movie called The Hills Run Red, he had a really cool new urban legend called Sweet Tooth. And Sweet Tooth kind of fit in, if I had to place it in anything of what the closest thing it's like, it's very much in the Creep Show kind of vein, which is it's scary and it's a monster thing and there's plenty of gore, but it's got kind of a comic booky kind of fun quality to it. And that seemed to really kind of encapsulate the spirit of the movie, which was scary but fun. It was a little bit of both. And so we started with that one. I think that was really a good choice that we seem to be sticking by and happy that we made that choice. So
that's right up my alley because people listen to the show know that's my favorite horror film is Creepshow.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, and I'd say Creepshow Tales from the Crypt is kind of thematically where we kind of live at, I think.
And that's just, I mean, who doesn't like those? It's pretty rare horror fan that doesn't like that. So if you're going that way, then it's going to be, then people are going to just love it.
Some people like, and nothing wrong with that. Some people like their horror, pitch black and super dark, and so for those people, it might not, quite connect. But if you like Creepshow and Evil Dead 2 and things of that nature, kind of the more fun, fun-natured horror, I think this movie's for you, because this movie definitely is for an audience, and that audience is horror nerds, for the most part, and I am proudly belong in that camp, but if you love horror and you kind of know particularly 80s horror really well, I think you're going to catch a lot of stuff in the movie, and you're going to realize that it was meant for you, because we really sort of thought about, we kind of made the film internally together, sort of trying to entertain each other, not really thinking about, we have a lot of kindred spirits that kind of appreciate this stuff too. And I think that's what people are really connecting to is that, there is it's not a cynical, dark movie. It's a very genuine homage and love letter to 80s horror and to Halloween. And so it's just not a bitter or jaded thing. It really comes from a very pure place. And so I think kind of people are connecting with that. And if you love John Carpenter movies or 80s anthology films or just, just fun kind of horror stuff from that era, I think you're going to catch a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of little winks to that time and that period of movies. So,
I know,
I'm freaking pumped about this movie now. Not that I didn't want to see it before, but I'm like, oh man, I love all those movies. This is very, very, very exciting.
I know, just like
I hope you like it. I hope you are not disappointed. I mean, this is me being probably too honest here. What I'm fascinated about it, if there's anything that I'm very proud of as a producer on this film, two things. One, that we're still friends, and everybody made it through okay, and we can still get a beer, and if anything, we're probably closer because of it. But secondly, is that that there's no consistent favorite or least favorite. Everyone at a minimum seems to enjoy if the movie's for you. I mean, if you're really into the, I like Serbian film and martyrs and, and I only like the really dark shit. Okay, maybe it might not be for you. But if you're generally the audience, I kind of find that most people like at least 70% of it. It's just what 70% of it you like is up to your taste, because some people might like the funnier ones. Some other people might like the darker ones, some people might like the spooky ones, and so that's what's really been kind of fun is that there's no consistency as to, oh, this is my favorite, this is my least favorite. And that's wonderful. All of them have been somebody's favorite and all of them have been somebody's least favorite in there. But it really is kind of catered to, you're going to get out of it what, it's just going to speak to whatever you're into, because there is something for everybody in there. There is all sorts of different types of subgenres in there. So most likely, you'll walk away liking most of them, but some are definitely going to speak more to you than others, and that's all going to depend on who you are,
Right.
So
your story, Friday the 31st, was it something you had in your mind for a long time, or did you come up with it just for this film?
Well, I mean, Friday the 31st is actually the opening scene of a screenplay that I've never been able to get made, and I kind of looked at this as an opportunity to, really be myself and really do something that I've never been able to do, because I like uber gory, splattery kind of splatstick movies, things like Peter Jackson's, Dead Alive or Bad Taste, or of course Evil Dead 2 and that kind of thing. It's like, I love that, it's like, those are my favorite type of movies. But they're hard to get made because, they're usually, they can't be rated R. But I figured in a short little nugget, in a short little blast, I could probably be as gory as I wanted to be and get away with it because it's only, 3 minutes out of the whole thing is total gore fest, so I really went for it. I just felt, look, I haven't had the opportunity to make this movie, here's a chance, and I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to give it everything I got to try to make something cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and you said Dead Alive, and it just made me think with the gore fest, the scene with the when he's holding up the lawnmower. Oh, man.
Right, of course, yeah, totally, yeah. I wish I could do it quite on that level. That's the thing. The biggest disappointment for my short is that it ends. It's like I want to keep going with it. That it's sort of like, oh my God, I was just warming up. But unfortunately, we're stuck to 7 to 10 minutes on our stories. So we got to end it. But I would have loved to have kept going. There's a lot more gore to come that comes with that.
But hopefully down the road you'll be able to do that stuff. If you get a good reception for this, would you go back to it?
Well, are we talking the feature or a Tales of Halloween 2?
Well, either. Would you want to play out your gore dreams?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no. If someone said, "Hey, I love your short, and I'd love to see what the feature version of it, and I'd love to make that," yeah, I'd do it in a heartbeat. Yeah, not a question. Tales 2, because we get asked a lot, which is a wonderful compliment. People want it every year. They want a different installment. I'm ready for a break. On this one.
Yeah.
We just finished it, and I'm so happy that the reception is so positive. I mean, it was a nice surprise because we didn't know how it was going to go over. So it was just amazing to just feel this kind of overflow of just like, holy shit, we love this. And that's been awesome, and all the filmmakers are super pleased about it. But we made this movie for free. Nobody got paid on it. Even the actors and the crew and everything, everyone did it for a uniform, $100 a day. Just to do it. But for the filmmakers, it's like this was just a passion project to do it for the sake of doing it. And I, for better or worse, because I brought the financing for the movie, kind of ended up being one of the producers throughout the entire conception of it, all the way to delivering it now, all the way through the promotion. And it's been a year and a half of free work. And at times fairly intensive, frustrating work. I would do it all over again in a second. I mean, I don't regret any of it. It's wonderful, and we're really proud of the movie, and we're really happy with the way the movie came out. But do you want to start climbing that mountain again, right away? And at least for me, the answer is no. But we'll see. Maybe in time. We'll see what the demand is, and again, it has to kind of make financial sense. It's like, it's one thing to make a free movie once, but you can't keep abusing your friends. They're not going to stick around that much longer if I do keep doing these. So.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it'd lose a lot of charm if you just churned them out, and not only would people not be getting paid, but even if you were getting paid, I think it would just be exhausting to feel like, well, now it's really just work to try to make this thing happen.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I would love it if a Netflix or a Showtime or something picked it up and said, hey, next October we'd like to do like 6 episodes with like 2 tales each or something like that. Like, I'd love that. That would be great, because then everybody's getting paid, and then we know what we're doing it for, and we can add new filmmakers and do the whole thing. If not, I personally would want to wait at least 3 years, if not 5, to kind of reset and like, all right, let's do it again. Let's try something else and do it even bigger and better. Let's see how if we can even involve more people and get even more people on screen. So.
And the leave them wanting more factor, I think, is huge. So with a 5-year, people will be like, "Oh man, Tales of Halloween."
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, totally. I mean, I don't know how long it's been for Trick or Treat 2, but I'm sure we'd all be, chomping at the bit to get that. So
definitely.
So yeah, I think a little time, as much as I'd love to make it a yearly thing, it would be cool. It's just, a lot of work went into making just this one. And again, it is a very special movie. It is not the way most independent films are made, where it's like, okay, there's a producer and they've got a script and, there's a director who wants to make it and, it's their vision. I mean, it was such a group effort. It was such a collective thing. And I think that's what makes it special and magical. But again, it's like you can't keep doing that, and especially not at the same budget range and on a volunteer basis. People will get resentful eventually. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But it would be nice if the October Society did something in the near future.
Mm-hmm. Apparently Robert Russell had a good time because he posted a question here, and he wants to know if he can be in your next 17 films.
My next 17, wow. Certainly at least one. We'll see. We'll take it one by one. But I would love to work with Robert. He was great to work with on Tales of Halloween, and I've always liked him. Going back to the 80s, so we're super happy to have him on board, and I'm super happy to work with him again. So so that would be cool.
Yeah.
No, that's the other thing. What was the other thing nice about being a producer is that even though I didn't get to work with everybody as a director, I do feel I got to spend time and be on set and work with a bunch of different actors that I wouldn't have gotten to otherwise. So that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got some really cool talent. We're big fans of Barry Bostwick.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Barry's great. Yeah, that was, again, it's like sort of the idea of like, throwing a party. Like, you tell your cool friends to bring their cool friends and whatnot. So Darren Bousman had just finished The Devil's Carnival with Barry Bostwick, and he had such a good time with him that he was, brought him onto this. And, again, like I said, this is not big money for anybody. Everyone here didn't need to do it. So anybody who showed up was there because they wanted to do it, and they thought it'd be fun. So Barry was great to come out and have a great time with us, and he really does an awesome job in the movie.
Neil, was that the movie he told us about during
our interview?
During Mad Monster Party?
No, I know last.
He was.
Yeah, I know last year Robert Russell, actually, that's the first time we heard about it, was he just called into the show real late one night and started telling us about Tales of Halloween.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but I mean the other one that just got mentioned. The Devil's Carnival. Because I think he was...
Oh, yes, it was. Yeah. Because he forgot the name.
Yeah, probably.
He forgot the name of it, and so in our video interview, well, it's very obvious that I just go, The Devil's Carnival, and it's just...
The thing is, these movies were shot so quickly is that I'm not even sure how much Barry remembers doing it. When we called him, he's like, "What project?" When we were talking about promotion and like Tales of Halloween, and then when he did it, it took him a minute, but we had to kind of remind him of like, "Yeah, no, we just shot it in 2 days," and he's like, "Really?" He remembered doing it, but it just went by so quick that it was just a blip on his radar. But now he's very aware of it. Now he's seen it a few times. He's seen it with audiences. He's come out to festivals with us. So now he's part of the gang. That was a real nice sign that I felt like things were good. Is that when actors kind of get onto a project, they don't know what they're getting into, and especially something like this is like they know whoever invited them, but they don't know what the whole party is going to be. So I think everyone was kind of interested and kind of like, yeah, what the hell is this and what did I get into? But once everybody saw it, boy, everybody's been on board ever since. Now everybody wants to do press and everybody wants to talk about it and everyone's trying to promote it, and that's awesome. That's again, not because we're pushing them, just because people want to, and that's really cool. So
now I know Nick Principe is in your story.
Oh, Nick, I love Nick. Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And Nick's great. I've met him many times at conventions. I've hosted panels with him. He always calls me Steve, even though my name's Neil. But
okay,
he's 7 feet tall, so I can't correct him.
Yeah, just be Steve. It's safer that way.
I'll start calling you Steve now, just out of solidarity. Nick is great. Again, that's sort of the fun of doing something like this. You get to work with your friends, and Nick has been a friend for a long time, and I needed a big Jason Voorhees like mutant, and who better than Nick Principe? So I'm like, Nick, I need someone, kind of mongoloidy, kind of retarded killer, and he's like, I got it. he nailed that. That was wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Now you've worked both with a lot of CGI for the sci-fi movies and practical effects. Do you have a preference?
I do. I prefer the practical stuff, but the CG's come a long way, and I personally like to blend tricks, and that's sort of the nice thing about the episode you'll see tomorrow, is that there's every trick you can think. There's practical effects, there's CG stuff, there's flying rigs, there's blood gags, there's a lot and a lot of stuff in my segment, but it's all different types of tricks and all different types of effects. So that was really fun. I actually, as I mentioned before, this was an old screenplay, so we wrote this probably like 18 years ago or something like that. But I've had 18 years to kind of hone my craft and hopefully do a better version of it than I would have done 18 years ago. So that was one of the other cool things, is that I really got to go all guns blazing and just really give it my all, and just okay, how can I do it the most polished and best way I can do it? And I like my short. I'm really happy with it. It's one of my personal favorite things I've done. So I'm pretty pleased with it.
I was going to say the poster for Tales of Halloween's awesome.
Oh, thank you. Well, there's three. There's a gray one that was sort of the pre-poster with the kind of skull tree in a cemetery with all our names on the tombstones, and that one was really cool. And then they kind of took that same concept and did an awesome orange one with the skull tree, and that's sort of the release poster, and that one is badass, and I need a copy of that one. I don't have one yet. And then one of the things, and again, this project is so special that it's just I don't think anybody else would have been able to do this. But again, this all speaks to the community, and it all speaks to, asking nicely and trying to reach out to people. We got a legend to come out of retirement, Drew Struzan, who is probably the most famous poster artist in the world. He did many of the Star Wars posters, the Indiana Jones posters, Gremlins, Explorers, I think some of the more later stuff he's done more out of request was he did some stuff for Guillermo del Toro for Hellboy. The guy's an absolute legend, and he came out of retirement to do a special promotional poster for us. And that's going to be the cover of the soundtrack, which comes out tomorrow. Comes out on Friday, so we can get that on iTunes. But that's an original Drew Struzan piece. And speaking of the soundtrack and legends, one of the other legends we got to come out of retirement was Lalo Schifrin, who is the composer of Mission Impossible and Enter the Dragon and Amityville Horror and lots of classic stuff. But his son directed one of the segments, Ryan Schifrin, and he was nice enough to ask the old man to come out and do him a solid, and compose the opening theme. And he was gracious enough and wonderful enough to come out and do an awesome theme song for us, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
We're super blessed. Yeah, we're super blessed between those two. It's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. I like the tagline on. It's on some of the posters, not all of them. Trick or treat, motherfuckers.
Trick or treat, motherfuckers. Yeah. That was a big internal debate, and we still don't know how we feel about it. Some of the guys really do not like it. They're like, God, I don't think that reflects the movie. I think it's fun. If I have a personal gripe, is I don't love the name Tales of Halloween. I think it's rather bland, but it does tell you exactly what it is, so that's good. So I felt having perhaps a saucier kind of tagline, might be kind of fun. So I don't know. Some people love it. Some people are just like, what the fuck? But I don't know. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. It's something that makes it a little different, and kind of captures the irreverent spirit of the movie. So.
Mm-hmm. Now, what are you doing for Halloween next week?
I don't know. I am not sure. I am supposed to start a movie next week. Every day that passes, I believe less and less that movie is happening. So I was going to be in Mississippi on location, but I think I'm going to be at home, watching episodes of X-Files on Netflix or something. I don't know at this point, So I'm sure I'm sure if we're all together the quote unquote October Society will do something, whether it's a dinner or a party or something. We kind of have to, but at this point, I honestly don't know. So I really do want to. We have this amazing event in.
This is Barbara Crampton, and you're listening to Without Your Head.
Oh, yeah.
That must have been terrible radio.
That's all right.
They're used to it.
Sorry about that. I don't know.
Oh, it's been much worse in the past.
I was asking you guys what's on tap for Halloween.
We're not recording yet, right?
No, we're back now.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, we are? Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So we're back. Sorry about that. That's no problem. That's no problem. But so
what's on tap for
Halloween?
You kids on Halloween? What are you doing out there?
It was really funny. We've got this weekend. We're watching your film. Then we're watching Halloween 3 at the Coolidge at midnight. And
nice.
But yeah, that'll be sweet.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really don't think we've got a plan yet. We are definitely going to do something, but
right.
I don't know what the hell we're doing.
Well,
at this point, we might go back to the Coolidge.
Yeah, there is a 12.
Halloween and Halloween 3 is, you will see a connection between those movies. So,
oh, excellent.
So that's cool.
Yeah, we're both big fans of Halloween. I know. Well, what are your thoughts on Halloween 3? Because it is kind of a movie that people either really like or they hate.
I'm a massive fan. I've always been a massive fan.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm surprised it's taken this long for it to kind of like catch on. But no, I mean, yeah, and again, you'll see tomorrow. There might be some stuff that may be familiar in there, particularly maybe in the. Well, I should say a few of them have a bit of a Halloween 3 vibe, but certainly Neil Marshall's episode. Really went through the Halloween 3.
Well, I think that's definitely that film is all those different feelings of like some of it is really kind of goofy, silly, but it is still
right.
It's tries to be serious in some ways, and there's it's pretty dark, having a mask on a kid
totally.
eat their face.
I think it's cool. It's got a, even though he didn't direct it, but it's got a very Carpenter vibe with the music and a lot of the treatment of stuff in there, and I don't know. I think it's fun. I like the evil mask maker, and
and who doesn't love
terrible plot to melt children's faces with spiders and snakes. It's just pretty wonderful. So I don't know. I have a deep love for that movie.
And who doesn't
might be
love
the most
jingle?
evil Irishman in horror.
Yeah, totally. Could very well be. So, that's pretty awesome.
And you have to love the jingle.
Oh, sure. Yeah, totally. If anything, I kind of regret that we didn't have. I wanted to. It just seemed difficult to do that. I wanted in one of the televisions to have the flashing pumpkin and the jingle going, but we never got around to that detail. I know at one point we were going to allude to the big giveaway at 9, but that didn't end up happening. So anyway, but again, there's plenty. The love for Halloween 3 is palpable in that movie. So I think you'll catch it.
Very cool. Yeah, I asked.
The more you say, I'm just so pumped about this movie. And I usually don't get super pumped about movies. Like, I'll be looking forward to movies. I might think, oh, this will be cool, but I'm usually not actually like really, really pumped about a movie. I am now.
I mean, that's the thing. Is like I said, it's like there is an audience for this movie, and if you fall into that audience, then the movie was tailor made for you. So I hope people are. I mean, I do think that's what they're reacting to. So I believe, because it is a very specific type of fan, but they get very, very, very excited about the movie. They get really, really behind it. So I hope you're one of those people. We'll see.
I think so. I'm just sitting here smiling.
All right.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
If that's what happens throughout the course of the movie, then we're all good. So
awesome.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, we're talking about this Halloween itself. Do you have a favorite candy?
Do I have a favorite candy?
Yeah.
Oh God, all of them. Jeez. I mean, last night we had a screener of Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is what people should be doing on Halloween. If they don't have plans. And it was awesome. I try not to. I struggle with my weight, so I try not to eat candy or sugar too much. But we were, was with some friends, and we had the first 2 episodes of Ash vs. Evil Dead, and there was a bowl of candy in front, and I just went full on Halloween. I just went full into the M&Ms and the Crunch bars and the and the Twix and the Kit Kats, and
Mhm.
a good time.
Yeah.
So
And
fun-sized candy for fun-sized horror. So.
And also, do you remember any particular costumes you wore as a child?
Well, I still wear costumes, so
Mhm.
I mean, some of the
okay.
better ones I think came later in time. So I was the melting Nazi from Raiders of the Lost Ark. That was
That's pretty sweet.
a fun one. Yeah, I'm a big believer on Halloween that you have to dress ghoulish. That you have to, because the origin of that is that it's the night where the spirit world is closest to ours, and the dead walk amongst us, and that you have to try to blend in with the dead. So that they don't get you, and so I've always kind of liked that. So I sort of always try to keep whatever, particularly if I wear something on Halloween, I try to lean towards something monstrous or dead or ghoulish, So I don't know. It's just like I like that tradition. I think that's cool.
I agree. So not like a cowboy.
No, see, I wouldn't do that. Like a doctor or a construction worker or like Caitlyn Jenner or whatever. I wouldn't I wouldn't do that.
None of the village people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
let's see here. Doobie wants to know what was Coolio like on the set of Convent.
he was high, but that's I don't think any pickup or feeling anything too much there. He was in his trailer playing PlayStation. Because this is a different time and place here. If we're going back to 1999 when we were filming that, and he would bet the kids in the movie if he could beat them at I don't know, Dig Dug, or I don't know what the hell he was playing, pole position. I have no clue what it was, but so he would bet and have people put the $5 out, and then he would beat them at video games and take their money. So anyway, so that was like with Coolio. There's another one who probably doesn't remember being on set. I'm pretty sure. If you told him, "Oh, I love you in the Convent," I don't think he'd have the slightest idea what you're talking about. But I can't say, and not that I had a negative experience. He was lonely. Coolio was a very, very sweet man. But I can't say I had a true bonding experience with Coolio. I don't think. I think I saw him at the premiere. And I believe that is the last time I've seen Coolio. I think I've seen Coolio twice in my life. So, so anyway, but it was fine. It was good times, So.
See, Al Ulb wants to know what was it like working with the Police Academy cast on Lavalantula.
So wonderful. I mean that was fun. That was just such a stupid idea. That it worked. That's sort of like the fun. For me, is like, doing a Sci-Fi Channel movie, you kind of know what you're getting into when you're trying to, they want you to replicate Sharknado. And you're sort of kind of like, okay, how can I find an angle to make this fun and irreverent and weird? And somehow reuniting the cast of Police Academy to fight lava spiders was kind of like, yeah, that'll do it. So it was great. Gutenberg.
I love that
amazing.
movie, by the way.
Did you really? Oh,
I
thank
did.
you very much. You're very sweet. It's a TV movie. I have a little bit of mixed feelings for it. It's a very much a group effort. I don't feel like I take too much credit on that one, but I did my best. So, but Gutenberg is wonderful, and if things work out and timing works out, I may be back for Two Lava, Two Lantula.
Sweet.
So we'll see. But and Winslow is just as fun as you'd expect him to be, and Marion Ramsey, lots of fun, and Leslie Easterbrook also just a sweetheart. If I don't know if they'd let me. I mean, that would be another thing that I'd want to do if I came back for the sequels. I want more. I want more of the cast. So we need Tim Kazurinsky. The really big one would be Bobcat, but Bobcat did not seem too interested in coming out and playing. So.
Sam
maybe another time.
Sam Haynes, who is our artist of the month here, we're playing his music all month. He wants to know what is your favorite horror anthology?
I'm gonna have to go with Creepshow. I mean, there's segments of lots of them that I love. Because I like a lot of Cat's Eye, and Cat's Eye is a really cool one. I think there's even really cool stuff in Tales from the Hood, and also Tales from the Dark Side. But that's the thing. There are very few solid anthologies where you like every one, and I think the only ones that I can kind of really give that credit to are Creepshow and Trick or Treat are the only ones that, at least in my book, I'm pretty good with all of the segments, you know. So, but more often than not, you know, you're something like Creepshow 2. You know, you're lucky if you get one, you know, that you even like, you know. So, but yeah, rare is the exception that you know that you get 4 or 5 good ones. But I think Trick or Treat and Creepshow do a wonderful job of it. So, you know.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. Creepshow 2, you got Thanks for the Ride Lady. He's pretty cool. But,
yeah, I like that. That was my favorite one when I saw it. I did not hold up for me quite as much last time I watched it.
Yeah.
And now, fun enough, I'm kind of starting to go towards the Raft, which didn't do that much for me in the first one, but in time, I think that's the one that's probably aged the best, you know. So
the Raft really messed with me as a kid.
Yeah. Well,
seeing people like glued up and melt.
Like when she lifts her face up and you see the skull and all that, you know, like that. That's
the reveal's cool in that.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of swimming in lakes as a child.
Right. No, I don't blame it. So. Anyway, but so there's some good ones out there, you know. But again, more often than not, it's you know, a segment or two is good and then not so good. And that was a big thing for us, and you know, it's up to you guys if we succeeded or not. But we just wanted to have a better batting average. You know, we ideally not have any bad ones. You'll have favorites. You'll like ones that you like more than others, but hopefully they're not any of that you're like, man, that was terrible. What the hell were they thinking? You know, so I don't know. But again, that's a subjective thing.
Just because we haven't seen it yet, we're going to see it tomorrow. But just looking at the names on IMDb and whatnot, there's obviously like a ton of huge name, I guess, cameos in the movie. Was I mean, you talked about people doing the movie for free and everything. Was everyone you approached just really like excited to be in it, even just like a cameo?
Yeah, more so it was just such a small time commitment. Most of the cameos, you know, were a day or something or a night. So, you know, I think it was like, I don't know what the hell I'm getting into, but sure. You know, so yeah, for the most part, I think everyone was on board. But again, I mean, I think a lot of people are surprised when they saw it at the premiere. I think they didn't know what they got into, and were pleasantly surprised. We're really kind of like, oh, shit, I'm actually kind of happy I'm in this. You know, that's what we got more than anything. It was people really happy that they were a part of it. You know, and people that, again, it's like, you know, this was a non-paying thing. So someone like Serena Vincent, you know, for her to be like just really stoked that she's a part of it, you know, that's great. Or Felissa Rose, who, you know, is sort of an Easter egg in the movie, you know, because she doesn't have any dialogue, but you'll see her pop out throughout, you know, and, you know, and it was a little bit of a family affair for a lot of them because also Tiffany Shepard's and Felissa Rose's daughters play roles in the movie. And so I think it was very exciting to kind of pass the Scream Queen baton to their children. You know, and have them be a part of it. So yeah, no, I mean, you know, there's a few people that turned us down. You know, we really wanted John Carpenter to make a cameo, and all he had to do, we were going to go to his house, and we were going to, like, you know, shoot on his porch, and all he had to do was open the door and like look at a kid and go like, "Get the hell out of here! Get off my lawn!" And slam the door.
That would have been tremendous.
He did not go for it.
Aww.
That would have been, that would have been awesome. We really would have liked that, but oh well. Yeah. Maybe for the second one, you know. So, exactly. But yeah, so we didn't get Carpenter. James Gunn was busy, and I think Tom Holland was busy. But other than that, I think everyone we asked said yes.
Mm-hmm. So he almost gave you that same treatment. He almost just told you to get off his lawn.
Pretty much, yeah. So like, well, Carpenter
should have filmed that.
And we loved him, but that's who he is. You know, he is that kind of crotchety old man that'll tell you to get off your lawn. But I mean, we love him. You know, and we love him for that, and we love him for being that. You know, so you know, we would have been so thrilled to have him on board. Really, really would have been thrilled. You know, so but oh well. You know, we did pretty good. We got Joe Dante and Mick Garris and Stuart Gordon and John Landis and James Wan and Greg McLean and, you know, all sorts of people. So, so anyway.
Yeah. So what's the best way to I was going to say best way to find you, but that seems like trying to have people stalk you. But what's the best way for people to see what Mike Mendez is up to online?
Probably, at Madman Mendez on Twitter. And also, I mean, you can follow me on Facebook as well. So I try to put as much stuff as I can. Also Instagram, also Madman Mendez. It's all fairly straightforward. So that's usually the best places to find me. So.
Is that a tribute to a Madman Mars?
You are correct, sir. You know your horror well. I think you will enjoy it very much. We love love Madman. That's a fun one. So.
Yeah, that's kind of an underrated one, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's a lot of fun. So.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but
yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, good patch on the reference and whatnot. So
anyway, I want to thank you for coming on. And
thank you for having me.
Well, yeah.
I hope it's not another 9 years before I'm on the show again.
No, I think it'll be a lot sooner.
So that'll be about the time we're getting to Tales 2. So that'll or maybe 3 by 9 years. Maybe we'll be on Tales 3 by that point. So,
all right.
So maybe that'll work out. So
have it come out every 6 years and have 3 of them. Oh.
That'll work. Every 6 years is a fine time to do it. That would be totally fine. So.
It was very awesome to meet you.
Nice to meet you, and again, thanks for having me on. And I hope you enjoy the movie tomorrow night.
Awesome.
Great talking with you.
Yeah. We will have a video review.
I'm sorry?
We'll have a video review up. We do a video series, Annabelle and I, a dinner and a movie, and we'll be doing one on Tales of Halloween.
All right, please do. And also, if anyone needs more information on the movie, you can go to talesofhalloweenmovie.com and get showtimes, because we are in theaters for the next 2 weeks all over doing different cities, and we have different events on Halloween and that weekend. So you can find all the information there. So
awesome. Yeah, and as we said before, it is for any movie. If you get the chance to see it on the big screen, it really is the best way to view a film.
Totally, and something like this is very much a crowd thing. So yeah, and I'm super happy you guys are going to see it at again the Brattle, one of my favorite theaters in Boston. So I think that's awesome that you guys are. I'm so happy they're showing it there. I mean, it's always been a great crowd, and I remember showing Big Ass Spider there. It was just such a good time. So I really love the folks over there, and super happy that they're supporting the movie and showing it. So have fun, guys. Let me know how it goes.
Thanks, definitely.
All
right.
We will talk to you soon, Mike. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on. Have a good night.
Yeah.
You as well.
Good night.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Adam Green, the director of Hatchet, and you're listening to WithoutYourHead.com.